Talk about getting the most out of a franchise. The powerful Pro Baseball series that started in 1994 on the Super Nintendo with Jikyo Powerful Pro Yaku 94 has an astonishing number of entries over 3 decades, with the most recent one being released in 2024, and there hasn't really been a period of time over the last 30 years where it's slowed down. In fact, 2015 was the only year where there wasn't a release, with many years having multiple entries in what is now a more than 100-strong collection. That's a heck of a lot of baseball. They are delineated into sub-series, thankfully, with the aforementioned Jikyo Powerful Pro ones featuring mainly on home consoles, and the portable ones largely called Power Pro Kun Pocket. The first one on a handheld was the very late Game Boy title Power Pro GB, which came out in 1998, and which I recently ranked as the best Game Boy baseball title out of the 11 that system got. Sure, it's more cartoonish than some, but what it gives up in realism, it earns back in actually being a darn fun time. With retro handheld consoles especially, I'd much rather have playability in heaps than anything resembling an effort at real-life exactness. After that, we fast forward a little bit to April 1999, with the Game Boy Color release Power Pro Kun Pocket 1, although it wasn't called 1 then obviously, a title that'll come up fairly soon in the GBC series. A sequel would follow on the same console in 2000, then by the launch title window of the Game Boy Advance, we'd see this third one. The restraints well and truly came off then, with another launch every year, up to number 7 in 2004, after which they'd move to the Nintendo DS and continue yearly until issue 14 in 2011, where the handheld offshoot series would stop. That was probably enough by that point though, don't you think? Anyway, there's actually something of a story mode here. After creating your character, picking their batting and pitching styles, and then a team, you'll arrive at Gokuaku High School, an incredibly run-down place with a poor reputation in society. Their baseball team also doesn't really like to train too much, so it looks like it's going to be up to you to whip them into shape and turn the whole mess around. Long story short, you manage this before the intro sequence is finished, graduating, then jumping ahead to your wedding day, although it doesn't look like you're getting married by choice, preferring to dedicate your life to Yaku rather than have a wife. Then suddenly, in a twist that I definitely didn't see coming, you die because of a trivial accident, with your wife mourning by a shrine to you. Pretty dark, man. I only wanted to play baseball. As if that wasn't a weird enough intro, 3 years later, you get revived by a crazy science guy called Dr. Karasawa and turned into a baseball cyborg. It'd certainly make the MLB more interesting if robots were allowed to play in it, that's for sure. You've been resurrected for the purpose of fighting this evil propeller corporation that is somehow controlling the world of sports. Now, you're gonna beat them somehow through legitimate sporting competition, but first you have to help repay the mad professor for your new robot body by working some side hustles like fortune telling or washing dishes. I tell you what, when I die, if somebody resurrects me and I then still have to go to work, I'm gonna be pretty miffed. Doing this will decrease your energy points and increase your stress points. And yeah, working will do that, but you'll also earn money. If your energy ever decreases to 0 at any point, you die, and there's no extra lives. And if your stress level goes above 85 or something like that, you get reduced to 1 HP, so make sure to rest every now and then. Any money that you earn from these side jobs could be spent on upgrades and new abilities for your player. So yeah, a strange mechanic perhaps to put in a baseball game, but it gets weirder. You're then taken to your own grave for some reason, where it's explained that you now have to pretend to be your own cousin, because people will get weirded out seeing someone alive that they thought was dead for 3 years. Also, you're informed that robots of the past used to have mental breakdowns because eating human food would cause them to malfunction, but now you're actually able to. Look, there's a buttload more to this insane story mode, like getting drafted and so on, but shall we leave the madness there and just look at the actual baseball part of the game? You'll see just how impressive this looks right away. The character design is really faithful to the series, and everything is still big and bold even on the small screen. The essentials of baseball are all here, and the game plays largely how you expect if you've ever played a baseball video game before. You need to wait until the pitcher delivers the throw, then quickly move your targeting reticle to the part of the box where the pitch is heading. Press A at the right time to swing, or you can bunt the ball by pressing L. Similarly, when pitching, you first choose the type of curve you want to put on, then aim somewhere within that box. Outside of the box, it'll be a foul throw. When fielding, everything is pretty much done with the A button, diving to catch or in combo with a direction to throw to a particular base, right to first, up to second, and so on. Gameplay is weirdly unbalanced. The CPU fielders are magnetically attracted to your hits a lot of the time and can seemingly catch anything. However, when in bat, they'll frequently go an entire innings without even attempting to swing at a pitch. It's a bit better if you crank the difficulty up, but then you don't stand a chance of getting your own batters round. Hey, this isn't a terrible experience, it's just a bit unbalanced, and earning the upgrades and extra abilities during the story mode does make the whole thing more accessible. I seem to remember enjoying the debut handheld one, Power Pro GB, more than this. Still, looks great, the voice acting is really good, there are 4 sequels or something like that to come, and the story mode is completely batty, in the best of ways. One that you can get used to, but not without its flaws.